What's going on YouTube? JWeb here, back with some more Apex Legends, and today I've got a complete Season 5 guide going through all the patch notes and all the notable changes that Apex has made to Season 5. This is going to be kind of a longer video, so just stick with me. I will add some timestamps, so let's jump right in. First we got Loba. Loba's passive ability is called Eye for Quality, and what this allows you to do, as you can see, is see through walls for nearby loot. Now it only shows gold and purple loot, so the legendary and epic quality, and you can see that at the same range as her black market boutique. Moving straight into her passive ability, you have the burglar's best friend. Now what this is it's a teleport to hard to reach places or escape trouble quickly by throwing a jump drive bracelet. So it's kind of similar to Pathfinder's grapple, except it's a throwable and you can only go as far as you can throw it. Now this has some limitations, but also some really cool features, like you can't throw it very high in the air to reach places like Pathfinder. It's like you'll see you can kind of get that sweet spot of that perfect kind of angle in which you want to throw it to get the max distance, but you can't throw it very high. Now as you can see, you can call this bracelet directly to the ground. So once you throw it, if you've decided, hey, that might not be the best idea, you can call the bracelet straight to the ground by hitting R2. Now moving on into her ultimate ability is called Black Market Boutique. Now what this is, it is a portable device that allows you to teleport nearby loot to your inventory. Friendlies and enemies can take up to 2 items, so if you place this down, an enemy can come over. And as you can see, it gives you the whole list of items that is in your nearby range and is able to pick up. So I grabbed a shield battery, and I think I'm going to grab an extended light mag. Perfect. And once you get that, all you have to do is just back out, and it should be added to your inventory. So as you can see right there on my P20, it has the extended light mag already equipped. Alright, so moving into Mirage. Mirage got the biggest buff out of any character this season, and he's actually incredible. I have a video of just straight gameplay with him, and he's absolutely incredible. So let's move on to his tactical ability, which is called Psych Out. Now this allows you to send a decoy like normal, but instead they've added this season you can push down on the D-pad if you're on console to be able to control him. And as you can see right here, I've hit down on the D-pad and I'm able to control what this decoy does. He will mirror all of my movements. He'll crouch, he'll slide, he'll jump, he'll do everything that I do, and this decoy will last for up to 60 seconds. This is going to allow for some crazy plays, I think, in the future once people get a little bit more used to this. Now his ultimate is called Life of the Party. So Mirage's ultimate now does not cloak him, but instead it creates a bunch of decoys, I think 5 decoys, that mirror your exact image. So much like hitting down on the D-pad on your tactical ability, it will just allow these decoys to move in the same exact pattern that you do. So this will allow for Mirage to play a lot more aggressively, and it will kind of change his ultimate from more of an escape ultimate to a aggressive offensive ultimate. And other changes that Mirage got, his passive has now been changed to additionally cloak yourself and your downed teammate when you're reviving. And also it allows you to cloak while you're using a respawn beacon to revive your teammate. So that's incredible. I think this is going to allow for Mirage to have a lot more usage in ranked. Maybe not at the higher end, but certainly towards the platinum and diamond end. So moving on to Bloodhound. Bloodhound did not get that big of a buff, but he did receive a little bit of a buff. So for his tactical, the sonar detection went from 3 to 4 seconds. So as you can see on the screen, your pinged enemies or your sonar enemies will now remain in your vision or in your teammate's vision for 4 seconds instead of 3 seconds. And the cooldown for this has also been taken from 35 to 25 seconds, allowing you to get more scans off basically. So moving on to our next legend, Crypto. Crypto, not a lot of people know this, but Crypto in his drone can actually see how many enemy teams are nearby by looking at one of these champion banners. So normally displayed on this banner in regular view would be the kill leader or the champion of last game. But Crypto can actually go into his drone and see how many nearby teams are nearby. And now you can just ping and let your teammates know however many enemy teams are nearby, essentially. So in this case, there are 0 because I'm in the firing range. But if there was 2, 3, 4, however many enemy nearby teams, Crypto would give a voice line for that. So it's very, very helpful. Not a lot of people know that his drone could actually do that. So it's very, very good. Now I'll just take this time to talk about Lifeline. Lifeline did not get any very comparable or palpable buffs, but the Lifeline bin ratio did increase 20%. So you're going to be seeing a lot more blue bins across the map. And essentially they just took out the knockdown shields from the Lifeline compartment of these blue bins. Caustic also got a very, very nice buff. His friendly gas no longer slows teammates. So we all know that if you're playing with a Caustic back in Season 4, if he throws his gas, you can't really do anything. You're going to be slowed. You're going to not be able to see, but that's no longer the case. You're going to be able to move through that gas like you'd just be moving normally. So very, very good for him. So Octane also received a small buff. His ultimate now, instead of 90 seconds to charge, it's now 60 seconds. So that just allows for more jump pad action, basically. So moving on to the big man, Gibraltar. Gibraltar got a little bit of a nerf. Designers felt like he was a little bit too good in team fights with his dome shield, so they just changed the dome shield duration from 18 seconds to now 12 seconds. I do believe this is still enough to cover you up from an entire barrage. I will put a timer. I'm going to set off a barrage here in just a minute. I will put a timer on the barrage just to see how long that actually lasts for. All right, moving on to everyone's favorite robot. Pathfinder also received a little bit of a nerf. His grappling hook time has been increased from 15 seconds to 35 seconds. The designers said that given the power of quick repositioning in Apex, being able to use Pathfinder's grappling hook multiple times in a fight is both too powerful and muddles combat legibility. So I guess they just felt like the Pathfinder recharge for his grapple was a little bit too strong, so they just took that up, basically doubled the time for you to get your grapple back. So now let's get into some of the weapon changes. Okay, so the first gun that we're going to look at is the Alternator. Now the Alternator got a buff. A lot of people are saying that it's one of the better SMGs now. So the base clip got increased from 16 to 19. While the base damage remained the same at 15 for a body shot. In addition to the increased base mag size, the level 1 light extended mag is now 22 bullets. The level 2 light extended mag is now 25 bullets, as you'll see here. And the level 3 light extended mag is now 27 bullets. So the next gun that we're going to be looking at is the RE45. The RE45 got a damage increase from 11 to 12 damage per bullet, but it also received a lot more recoil. If you guys remember, the RE45 used to be kind of a laser with absolutely no recoil. Now the recoil is kind of all over the place, as you can see here. Next, we're going to be taking a look at the Havoc. The Havoc pretty much stayed mostly the same as for damage per second, but the vertical recoil was increased as well as the horizontal recoil was increased slightly. The main difference here is the first 2 shots in your Havoc are going to have much more recoil, and then it's going to follow a very similar pattern as it did to Season 4. So it's going to take a little bit of getting used to for those first couple of shots, but after that you should be feeling pretty comfortable. Next, the Longbow DMR. The headshot scale was reduced from 2.15 just to 2.1. So headshots without Skull Piercer are doing 110 damage. Now with Skull Piercer, that headshot damage is going to be going up to 2.5 instead of 2.1. So you're going to be doing around, I believe, 138 damage. Yes, 138 as you can see here. Next on the list, we have the Wingman. Now, the only thing that was changed on the Wingman was the headshot scale was reduced from 2.1 to 2.0. So instead of doing your normal 94 on a character in last season, you're going to be doing 90 damage for a headshot, as you can see here. And with the Skull Piercer attachment, headshots are now increased from a 2.0 multiplier to a 2.25 multiplier, doing 101 damage per headshot. Now moving on into the Gold Shield. The speed heal has been completely removed from the game, and instead they have added the fact that shield cells and syringes give you double the amount of heal per use. So as you'll see here in this clip, I am down to very little health, and one syringe gets me almost over halfway, and one shield cell gives me essentially 2 shield cells. Very straightforward, but I think this is a very nice change for gold shields because they were just getting a little bit too good in competitive play and people were complaining about it quite a bit. So the next thing I want to talk about is the Reconnect feature that Apex has added into the game. So essentially, I'm just going to read this out from the patch notes. Players that leave the match unexpectedly can now rejoin their match in progress. Unexpected means that exiting the match through any means other than system menu, including crashing, using Alt F4 on PC, or dashboarding to close the game on console. So essentially, if you disconnect from the game and your match is still going on when you figure out your connection, you'll just be reloaded into the game. So your teammates can grab your card, you can still rejoin the match. I think this might have been added for people that were dashboarding in ranked to not get the 10-minute penalty for leaving the game during a ranked match. It could be for other reasons. Obviously, it's always unfortunate when you disconnect from a match. So it's very nice to get a chance to actually be able to come back into the game. So that's just one feature that Apex added, and I actually have an example of this right here. My friend CH disconnected from the match. It's actually in my last video. If you want to watch the full video, I will leave a link in the description, but he disconnected at the very beginning of the match. I ended up going on and killing a couple of duos, and then he rejoined the match and ended up going on and having a really, really good game. So if you want to check that out, I will drop a link in the description, but just check this out, and this is a prime example of this Reconnect feature in action. So the next thing I want to talk about is the charge towers that they've added all over the map. Now what a charge tower is essentially it will charge up your ultimate after a 5-second or so charge. So this is a prime example right here if you guys just want to watch this little clip I've got. I just placed an ultimate down as Watson. I go over here to the charge tower. And after a 5-second charge up, everyone within the charging pad range gets their ultimate again. So it's basically as simple as that, and they've added these all over the map, so it's going to make for interesting dynamics charging up these ultimates and whatnot. The next thing I want to talk about is the Seasons tab. Now the Season tab is where you can find the Battle Pass, your quests, and all of your challenges. Now in the Quest tab, this is the main thing that's new. The Quest tab is essentially a 9-piece hunt for this missing artifact that Loba is trying to track down. Now you get treasure packs in duos, trios, and ranked matches, and you get 1 per day. So after you collect your first 5 packs, so after your first 5 days of play, you can begin a hunt for the first artifact, or this relic. And after you complete all 9, you will get the missing artifact for Loba, and the quest will be completed. It's called the Broken Ghost quest. After you complete a hunt, you will get a charm or a new weapon skin or some sort of reward, as well as the missing piece of the artifact, and then the next chapter of the Broken Ghost will be unlocked to you. I, for one, am very interested to do all of these quests and challenges to find the artifact that Loba is searching for. So I'm very excited about that. I'm glad Apex added some more lore in that aspect, and I'm very excited to complete all 9 of these challenges. I do want to thank you guys for watching if you made it this far. If you enjoyed the video, drop a like, subscribe if you're new and you want to see videos similar to this one and more gameplay on Apex Legends Season 5. And I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.